All right, we're live. Welcome back. Did not realize today was a holiday. So traditional markets are not trading. Of course, Bitcoin never sleeps and lately never stops going down. But yeah, we're live. It's Monday. We had a little break on Friday. Had to take care of some people. But we're back. We're good. And pretty much right in the same range as we've been in, 93-ish. Right about the 2025 yearly open. Bitcoin remains bullish in my opinion, or at least in an uptrend off this low. But my lord, with silver quickly approaching 100, gold hitting new all-time highs, the S&P 500 at all-time high, like, it's hard to pay attention. It's hard to know what to talk about. But we're here. We've been live on YouTube for 7 years, and you're not going to have a little bit of boring price action scare us away. Not a chance. We're here, boys. We're here. And I don't know about you guys, I got a lot of snow. I used to love the snow. I don't know. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's cold. It's windy. I want to move somewhere warm. Maybe I should move to Florida. Where do we start with? If you're here today, smash the like button. Share out the stream. Subscribe. I know that it's going to be pretty much just the tight-knit crew, the OGs here today, but you never know. Let's show the new people a good time if they stumble upon the stream. I know a lot of content creators just like aren't even making content right now because what do we even do? What do we even do with this? I'm going to start with my unique perspective right here. This looks like a wolf. Do you see it? Do you see this? Do you agree this looks like a wolf, or am I just crazy? I think it looks like a wolf. I'll tell you what it is. But I put these on the chart and I was like, that looks like a wolf. Like right here, the ear, kind of like the eye, and this is the teeth. This is the nose, the snout. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. Getting a little snow madness, a little bit of boring Bitcoin sideways madness. Something like that. I think it looks like a wolf. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Hopefully the wolf is a good sign. With traditional markets closed and some just par for the course, man, over the last year, weird news, right? The weekend before, we had Jerome Powell coming out again for the investigation against the Fed, and then this weekend it's like Greenland and more, like opening up to some madness. At this point, I think markets have to be resistant to this chaos. We've had over a year of it at this point. I don't even know how many years of it at this point, but we've just had week after week after week of what sounds like and is served to us as like the craziest news ever, and it's just instantly eclipsed by the next thing. This news cycle is absolutely exhausting and crazy. We don't have much on the week, meaning event-wise. Obviously nothing today. It's a federal holiday. Tomorrow, nothing in the US. On Tuesday, we have some UK and WEF annual meetings. Bringing us into Wednesday, we have Trump speaking at 8:30 in the morning. Does anyone know what he's talking about? You guys know my stance on his speeches. They're just so frequent, and frequently they have little substance that I don't follow them. I don't get excited for them. I usually check the news that day to see if there's articles about what he talked about. If you guys know, let me know. Give that info. Smash the likes. What's up, Foxy Pickle? Schmeedy Pooch. What's up, B Giffen, Michael, Crypto Steve-O? What's up, boys? It's good to have you here. It's good to have the crew here, you know, even when things are rough. After that, we do have U.S. pending home sales. That brings us to Wednesday. We have like nothing. Thursday, it looks like we have the first actual data day. Are we getting October's data on Thursday? Are we on Thursday? Call me skeptical. Something makes me think we won't be getting it on Thursday. We'll see. It says so here, though. We do have the GDP quarter over quarter, price index quarter over quarter, unemployment claims. These are all big data. They're all important to the Fed and their decision making going into the first FOMC of the year, the 28th of January. I think it's 28th. It's the last Wednesday of the month, I believe. At 10 o'clock, we have PCE, personal income, personal spending. And then it says we'll be getting October's data for those points. I don't know. I have a feeling they skip October. I have a feeling that just doesn't quite come out. What's up, Tony Urban, my guy? How you doing? We're going to dump Michael? Probably. I mean, here's the thing. Are we going to dump? We dumped in October. We stopped dumping. What, November? Maybe even in that October dump. And now we're just doing really nothing. We're doing nothing. So to bet on a dump, I don't think is really a bad bet. The best bet seems to be betting on nothing right now. Bank of Japan tentative for Thursday. That's actually kind of interesting. They just increased their rates. Remember last month when Bank of Japan increasing their rates by 50 BPS was going to shatter the world? Remember when we talked about how Bitcoin might pump off of it, how it's not going to be a repeat of April the year before? That's exactly what happened. Bank of Japan is approaching this the correct way. Outlook report and monetary policy statement on Friday. We've got flash manufacturing, flash services, just economic indicators, I assume. Consumer sentiment. That one's going to be, I don't know. You ask me, I think sentiment is the shitterest it's ever been. And that takes us through the whole week. So as you can see, not a week packed with data or really big events. Something tells me that it will be by the end of the week. We'll have something. Thursday is the day to look out for sure. It'd be interesting if we get that October data. At this point, it feels like it would just be irrelevant anyway. And also, not only does it feel irrelevant because it's now 4 months later, but doesn't it also, isn't it just like hard to trust that data at this point? I remain skeptical of everything governments do. Like, I don't know, it's been months and months and months. They didn't put it out. They said we couldn't collect it because the government was shut down. And like now they have it. Something about that, I just feel like the numbers probably won't matter in the sense of, I don't know if they're doctored or not, but like it just probably won't matter. If it's even real data, we'll see. Okay, notification. Live on your channel. Thank you, YouTube, for telling me that I'm live on my channel. I appreciate that. I did need to know. I did make a big dash buy. I'll share that with you guys. I'll share that with you guys during the live stream. Not doing the best now. I did not practice patience on this. Actually bought it back on Friday at around 83, so that's underwater now. I'll show you the whole thing. By a few percent, but I did see it trade almost to 100. I did not take any profit, so now I'm back down on that position. Rip. Ethereum, or not Ethereum. Man, you skip streaming for a day, you have a whole weekend off, and you start calling Monero Ethereum. Cancel me. Cancel me now. Monero will definitely spend more time checking out today. We have nailed this over and over and over again, and it just might happen again here. Who remembers this? You guys were here. You guys are the G's that are here every day. Who remembers looking at Monero, waiting for it to break all-time high, and then saying, this is the likely move. 745 back down to 600. So far, that's exactly what we've gotten. It overshot it to the upside, undershot it, overshot it to the downside. But here we are now, again above 600 after rejecting 750. This is smelling like a winner. I'm liking that. Look at that more. You remember? That's right, Paul. Paul members. Foxy. New moon energy. Is it a new moon now? What's the moon phase? What's the moon phase right now? Why do I care? I don't know. Yesterday into today was the new moon. Well, all moons in general are probably, it's weird, probably better than most indicators or most trading strategies. They're in, there's something at best. I would say that they typically mark organic cycles, flows, right? 28-day cycle in the moon. There's 13 28-day cycles in a year. Fits perfectly. We tend to see things kind of ebb and flow every 2 weeks. Here we are. Looking back at the new moons, what did we have 2 weeks ago? Traded sideways, then slightly up into the full moon. 4 weeks ago, or no, not 4 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, November, the new moon ushered in the low, the lowest point. Wonderful. Great. Greatly wonderful. Thanks, new moon. We tend to see swing highs and swing lows around the phases changing. So let's pray together that this phase changes, marking this low right here. Oh yeah, I didn't even go into the analysis right here, so we got to talk about that. Mark your calendars for the next full moon, guys, because maybe I'll see another friggin' alien or whatever that was. I don't know what that was still. I never found answers. Could have been anything. Could have even been an alien. What's up, D-Lo? Dogs are barking at the new moon. This wolf is barking at the new moon. Actually, I heard that wolves don't bark. They huff. There, now do you see it? Kind of looks like a coyote, or not a coyote, like a, I don't know, something else. But I see it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Why don't you pivot to metal? Same, bro. So what do we have here? We have a wolf, but what we really have is just two VWAPs. Yes, they're a little cherry picked. I'll take it. They're a little cherry picked, but they'll do. The top VWAP, the top WAP. The wolf's face actually comes from the all-time high. I feel like this is relevant, and I actually was kind of brainstorming a trading strategy over the weekend. Just based on, honestly, just based on VWAPs. So here's my strategy, or this brainstorming session I had, was what if I used VWAPs to make a trading strategy, and it could be as simple as finding the all-time high. And I guess I'm not sure how you'd fit this into smaller time frames, but for this example, all-time high, the highest point, and marking out the VWAP there. And any time that price is traded below it and then comes up and tests it, that strategy would say to short. Now, this is super cherry picked, and this has only happened twice since October, and both times it's been good. That's not really enough to go on a strategy of, but that concept to me makes sense. When you're below the all-time high VWAP, you can look to short at it. Makes sense. I'll take that. There's logic there. The problem is that I don't think that's enough for a strategy. Sure, you could make it work, but it probably wouldn't be very successful. You need some other condition, and I think that other condition could be maybe the all-time low. The problem with that, obviously, is the all-time low for Bitcoin, that's not a VWAP that's ever going to be interacted with. And probably not a VWAP that's going to be interacted with almost any asset, right? Especially if it was years and years and years ago. VWAPs move very slowly. They can move very slowly. So what we could do instead is maybe use the cycle low. That's all fine and dandy. And say anytime price is above the cycle low, VWAP, we can look for a long at that level. Now, we only had one shot at that right at the start of the bull market, but that doesn't mean in the future. Currently, this is at 55. This could obviously move up into the 60s, etc. In the future, likely, I think that will be a opportune time. But what can we do in the shorter term? Well, let's take 2024's low in August. Mostly because I am cherry picking and I'm just trying to fit data that makes this work, right? But let's take that one. We could use April's, and April's even makes more sense, I think, to say why not use that one. The problem with it is, well, we're pretty far away from it. We're not too close. We're not too close from it. But what we will find is, had we had done that, we could have potentially longed here. It would have been a bad long, but we could have shorted on the back test once it was lost. It's interesting. So for right now, I'm going to use August's low and the all-time high, and basically this gives us a pretty decent look. It gives us a potential long from a higher low and a position to short from. These are obviously going to squeeze and follow the direction of price. So if price moves up, this will slowly move up, so will this. If price moves down, this will slowly move down, so will this. But basically the trading strategy, I think I probably just confused you guys, would be something like in a programmable sense that looks for the highest point, preferably all-time highs, looks at the VWAP, determines if price is above or below it. If it's below it, can look for short positions there. The long signal or the low is going to be harder to find and select kind of in that data set sense, but I think this could work. I think this could work. I think it'd be automated. I think you could do worse, but anyway, that's what the thumbnail is. It's a wolf, and Bitcoin is, I guess, not really a wolf right now. It's more of like a puppy. But goddamn, dude, that eye there makes it. That does it. That sends it. That absolutely sends it. When collab with Frankie Candles? It's been a while. Have I ever collabed with Frankie? I feel like I have. If I haven't, I know that we've collabed. Like we've done like Twitter Spaces together with FEMX. Speaking of FEMX, check out our exchange partners. Links in the video description below, pinned to the top of the chat. FEMX and BYDeFi. BYDeFi and FEMX, say it backwards. Anybody can sign up with them using my link from anywhere in the world. You'll get bonuses, you'll get perks. I'll help you out. I will advocate for you. If you have issues with the exchange, it's a great value. Use my link. Help support the stream during these tough times. I can't remember if I did a video though. I feel like maybe we did on like around the blockchain, or was that too long ago? God, time has changed. Bitcoin has never gone below the presidential election night price. Check that out. It'd be like 70K. When was the election night? US election night 2024. Date. November 5th, 2024. November 5th. November 5th. Fair? Take it from like 67, 8. Yeah, true. We could also say it never went below August, you know, the start of August's low, or 2020 November's low. Fair. I'm not sure how important that is necessarily. Maybe we could throw a VWAP there. I don't like where that VWAP is, so I hate this idea. I wish you hadn't shown me that. Right at the high here. Has this served well as a long? When you lost it, served as a short. There was a failed signal and bounce, lost it. Rejected. Huh. It's starting to look more like a wolf though with this one. So maybe that's a sign that we keep it. How do I make this? Like when I try to draw the nose, it's looking less wolfy. I don't know why. It's looking more unicorny to me. Maybe rhino. That's interesting. It overlaps with the all-time high VWAP. I like it. I'll take it. Echo Leaf trying to sell out of position. What position are you trying to sell out of? Ooh, Monkey, my guy. Thank you for reminding me. On Friday, though I did not stream, I did grace everyone with the next episode of the free trading course. That's right. If you go to videos, right here, videos on the channel, you will find many, dozens, ignore those, dozens of free trading lessons, videos, trading lessons, guides, I don't know what you want to call them. Some with 500,000 views. They are wild, but the latest published one 3 days ago was the opening range breakout, which is actually, I'll say, a really good video. It doesn't apply to crypto as much. You can't apply it to crypto. You can try it, but it functions basically. It functions on opens and closes of like the traditional markets, and so probably not going to have the same success. Probably worth a try, but essentially the whole thing. Well, go watch it. I don't want to ruin it. It's a great video. They're super quality. The audio is better than it's ever been. Listen to this.
You want to learn a consistent, low time frame trading strategy, breakouts or best setups appear. By defining the opening range, whether we use the 5, 15, or 30 minute, traders can set clear levels for breakouts and retests. If you want to learn a consistent, low time frame trading strategy that you can use to scalp trades every single day, then you found the right video.
There you go. Thank you, Monkey, for reminding me. The crossover is not that huge. Hey, look, there's us. The crossover is not that huge between the live viewers in these videos. Surprised, but that's kind of just how YouTube operates, I guess. I think about only 6% of viewers watch both the videos and the lives. But if you're looking, and this is the best time to brush up on your trading skills, to learn new indicators, new strategies, new concepts, now's the time to do it while crypto's being boring as hell. Like I said, this one's not super tailored to crypto, but the concepts in it, I think, are still valuable. The lessons are great, and it helps us out. If you do choose to watch this video, I ask that you like it, leave a comment, but most importantly, just let the whole video play through. Get it, let it go through. Don't just open it because I'm talking about it and then close it right away. That's bad for the algorithm. It's bad algorithms. Let me put that link there. There it is. And there's so many more. Like, that's just one of 50. I don't even know at this point. They're all top tier. Thank you, Monkey, for reminding me. What's up, Crypto Crimson? Chris Pax, my guy. How are you? How's Doge treating you? What's up, Curve Shifter? David Gelf. Double Crypto James. Echo Leaf Esp. Foxy Lion. Mackie. Pooch Matt. Schmeed. Monkey Nimoy. Paul. PD Jensen. Randy Greer, what's up, Randy? Raphael, Retardo, Pickle. It's a quiet day. Cars and Crypto Coffee. It's a quiet day, my friends. On Eth. Pro level voiceover there. Well, you are right. You are right. I've been going to a sound studio to do them. It's nice to get out of the house. It's nice to have someone else vocally coach me while I do them. And as much as I do like my house, it is made of brick and hardwood, and so the audio is not great. Everything echoes, a lot of static. W actually catching alive. Let's go, Paul. Let's go. New here, Raphael Labio Bomo. What's up, bro? Welcome. You've joined on a day where, I don't know, my energy is mids. The hype and excitement around the space is probably safe to say less than mids. But you're here, man. Welcome. We do mostly crypto, but we've been forced to do other stuff a lot lately. Just out of interest, right? But if that's what you're looking for, man, live trades, live analysis, I got all the receipts. You've made it to the right place. This is the place to be. Spoken with authority, quality view. Thank you, Tom. Yeah, dude, I think it's the best voiceover I've ever done, and I've been doing these for years. The coaching is just so next level to have. It's not even that the guy does anything super special. Shout out to him. But it's just having someone listen to it while I'm doing it and then being like, hey, that didn't come out right, or they can't, this is sounds a little different than what you just said the sentence before. Just having that third party in real time doing it with you is awesome. Down we go. Let's go, TX. Where are we going? Is the wolf gonna bite? Is the wolf biting? I don't know how. I'm like struggling so hard to draw this into like a wolf. I don't know why. I feel like when I was younger, I had no issue drawing it. I can't get the chin right. Like, to me, it looks like a horse now. It's too rounded. I don't know. That's an anteater. I give up. 50 MA on the weekly's hammer top. We can check out that weekly. What's up, Lateralis 8808? How you doing, bro? Crypto's so boring right now. You're being super productive at work. Line, get it in, brother. Get it in. It's great to hear. Crypto is oftentimes distracting. Certainly for me. And to our detriment at times. Sometimes the distraction has been bad for my life. It is a time right now where it's not super distracting. Maybe that's a good thing, right? Maybe we should take advantage of that. Get the other stuff done, because crypto eventually will be interesting. It will. I wish I knew how long it would take, but it'll get there. Now, it looks like a damn horse again. Why does it just keep looking like a horse? I guess I can only draw a horse. Now it looks like a dinosaur. This is how bored we are in crypto. I'm just like drawing things. All of our VWAPs sit above us still. in the 98,000 to like 106,000 zone. All that juicy liquidity. It's going to get tapped. It wants it. It's asking for it. Look at the way it's dressed. It's asking for it. That's terrible. Don't say that. Don't ever say those things. Weekly MAs right above us. We have a new week. I forgot. But CME probably is not open. Do they trade? What's going on? Ah, there we go. They're trading. Okay. I stand corrected. CME has resumed trading. Last Monday's gap, our long target, like we nailed the shit out of this. Bottom sniped. We haven't hit we have not hit TP, but we've gotten pretty damn close. Holding the low. Do we have another gap? I don't think we do, actually. No. If there is a gap here, it's so small it doesn't matter. I don't think there is. There might be a $5 gap here, but I think that that's largely filled with the wick from today. Yeah. Interesting. Well, that was solid. Congrats to anybody who took this trade. We did the equivalent trade on spot, and that bottom sniped as well. Right there on Monday. Let's go. It's a great horse. You wish you could try like that? Well, you can. You can. Don't worry. Just practice for like 7 years. You'll be able to draw a horse as good as I can. Of course. What's up? House Crown Dragon from Wheel Shrek. Dude, you guys got it. You got it. What's up, Ed? Nice to see you, man. D-Lo, you're from Pakistan. Are we long now or no? I think you could long here. I think you could look for a long here, especially with this move down. I think this move down gets filled partially at least. 94.5. Remember, I don't give financial advice. This is just conceptual. There you go. Could look something like that. Are you going to go, are you longing now for a generational entry? Like, that's probably not going to work. But 94.6. I can see this. Nothing has changed. What's interesting is we got this big drop. Last night I was like, what happened? There was some big news or something? No comment. But I was like, it's something weird, right? Because I got a bunch of alerts. We can look at some of those, like XRP. What else? A bunch of alerts, actually. I thought something big happened. And then I opened the chart and realized this really, nothing has happened. We had this big red line and nothing has happened. We've held the low. We're still painting the same bullish pattern we've been painting. This has changed nothing. Now, if we do reject from here, trade below 89, then we've bunked up our pattern a little bit. The probability, I believe, if we trade below 89 of something like this happening gets very good. As in, becomes likely. But at the moment, holding this low, we're still just continuing this stair step up. And when we first began this over last week, interesting, on Monday, we were talking about many ways that this could resolve. And I said, honestly, even while we were moving up, what I'd like to see is a slower move up. A move up that has clean, slow pullbacks. One that does not really get people excited. Largely will be just dismissed as like bearish, bearish bouncing, dead cat bouncing. But the slower and the smaller the moves are to the upside, the better odds, I believe, that we can make a significant move upwards still. I said if we had a single candle shot up to like 106 or to 110, kind of where we're looking for that hedge. If we had a, one God candle where we jump 10K, that would likely be a squeeze. And that would likely be unsustainable and lead to further downside. And I said the slower and the choppier this move is to the upside, I think the better odds that we can continue higher. I have not discounted that yet. I have not put that off of the possibility list. So far, so good. Maybe if I had... You see, gold is goddamn gold. I still have my 20x long on gold open, and I feel just really underexposed. I need a lot more. It's a strong week. Painting these order blocks as it moves up, potential support in the future if needed. Damn, look at that. That's actually kind of crazy. This is low time frame. This is on the hourly, but check out this sell-off and look at RSI. It makes sense because RSI is relative, and even visually, this is the biggest drop. We have a lot of tighter knit, kind of smaller moves in the hourly time frame, and here it is even visibly bigger. But look at that hit down to oversold. Boom. You're going to be building some kind of bullish divergence here. I think this is really all even what I'm saying is just confluence for this long setup. Looking for like 1.8% upside. It's not huge, but still confluence. This is a hard move down. Bears didn't bring price lower. I mean, that's divergence. That's classic bullyvergence. 4 hour, even more dramatic. I have a feeling as we go up in time frames, this is going to look kind of crazier and crazier. 6 hour. That's a big hit. 12 hour. 12 hour still has a little bit of room here, but it's getting closer RSI wise. No divergence on the day. That's interesting. High, higher low for now. It's not a bad way to move up. Let's see. I have tons of alerts. We can look at them. Or what do you guys want to look at? Ethereum. Ethereum hit 3,333. And I think it rejected. That's my stance regarding BCH. I'm not sure. I'll have to look. I haven't looked at it. I would guess unchanged. But let's see. 3,335. Okay, well, here we are again. This play down at 25, getting farther away from the table. However, not off the table, not completely off the table, but getting farther with another test of 3,300. Ethereum is looking a little better. It is largely mirroring Bitcoin at this point. What you have is the flat top. Ethereum's favorite price in the whole wide world. 3,333 right here. We have established a flat top with this touch and rejection. The important point, the key thing that Ethereum needs to do is actually just like Bitcoin, needs to hold the low of last week. This rejection and sell-off is fine for now. It can trade somewhat lower, but it needs to hold this low, and then we can see buyers come in and push it back to 3,300 again. Each time this level is tested, and it's already been tested meaningfully 1, 2, 3 times here on the day. Each time it's going to weaken. It's going to become more probable that it breaks. And if it can hold this setup, I mean, breaking it seems like a no-brainer here. The upside target would be difficult. On a macro, more zoomed out view, You're probably looking back at 5,000, which is a strange concept to say. October's high failed to break a new all-time high. It was largely just a retest of that all-time high set in October. A higher low here on the macro does set it up for a retest, which is, the whole market would likely be very bullish if this was happening. It is just a fractal. Say it's a fractal of what we're looking for on the smaller time frames. Our top is flat. Our lows have come up. Ethereum could go back. It could go back to its all-time high if it breaks out of this structure. Obviously going to have some resistance on the way. But on a more macro time frame, that's actually very bully. It's very bully to have held the previous level and now to retest this area of liquidity. 4,000 I think would be like the upside immediate target on this breakout. But I'll be damned. I'll be damned if the all-time high doesn't look like it's in sight if this plays out, which I think it will. We're getting bullish here. I'm getting bully. Bully. This is the slowest shit, dude. I can't believe this is still right here. I'm still long. I'm still feeling the long in FBTC. Nothing's changed. It's just taking a very long time. Very, very, very long time. Poof. Yeah. Look how our Tau went down. What are the biggest losers today? All-time gold making all-time high until the government confiscates it. But they would never do that. Surely that's not something they've done in the past, which is like partially the reason Bitcoin was invented. Truly. Look at gold though, bro. It's like, this is insanity. Gold, I think gold's ready to make its next like parabolic move. It had this parabolic run up from August until October. It had traded sideways from April until August, September at that point. It's done something pretty similar here. Traded that all-time high in October, pulled back, didn't really give back too much, hit higher lows over and over again. Now here we are. This is wild. And dude, look at this. Boom. Gap. And what is this? Just tapping your high. Buyers coming in over and over again. This is like a real bull flag. I don't trust them in crypto, but I trust this one. I think gold's breaking up. Gold, what's the limit, right? There is no limit. There's no limit on the highs. The high limits on things are set by how low currency can go. And currency can just keep going. 5,000, our target from last year, didn't quite hit in December, but it's looking pretty damn possible here in January. 5K. People are absolutely top blasting this for like 6%, 7%. This has been a wild ride. Look, right here is where I started streaming. Right here. Started this channel, gold was 1,300. It's up 250%. You know, it's kind of crazy that isn't that much, even though gold has taken all the attention and looks crazy. And like 250% for 7 years. Certainly that's an amazing, unrealistic return. Like not a realistic return to expect, but like feels like more. As long as gold is riding the 20 day, I don't have any fears. No fears. At the moment, that would put it at like 4,500. Buying right here today at an all-time high, probably not the play. You've had lots of opportunity. Gold will likely retest its 20 day. It's creeping up. As soon as it starts trading below like it did back here in October, we can look for signs of weakness. We can look for a top to be in, micro or macro, but 4,500. So this is it. This is where I'd be looking. I didn't get a clean back test of the last high. Shit. 45. Let's take 45.50. December's weekly close. You're broken. Might actually play this way. I'm gonna make this call. This is what I think gold is gonna do over the next weeks. And when I say that, it could be tomorrow, right? Over the next weeks, this is what I think gold is going to do. I think it is going to look to make that move to 5,000. Yesterday it did tap 45, which is sneaky of it. I kind of wish it didn't do that. But at a test of 5,000, I think it is very likely that gold will then return to the supply line, the demand line, making a retracement. Look at 4,500. It'd be backtesting the previous resistance from the end of the year. It would be a beautiful golden Fibonacci retracement, and it would bring us right back to our trend line. Top of that, it's likely where the 20-day will be resting around then. If that doesn't happen, if gold moves to 5,000, doesn't make this backtest, we're just up in space. You know, we'll have to do gravity analysis, not technical analysis in that case. Man, my throat's itchy. What in the hell? What in the hell, throat? Silver's in the same boat. It's actually crazy that we were watching silver all the way back here. Was it? Silver's at 60. This is like, I don't even, definitely not the first time I talked about it, but retweeted right here, December 9th. Silver's going to 100. Now at $95. Holy hell. Silver is a beast. I have a hunch that gold and silver will likely hit, even though they haven't been running at the exact same times. Their upside targets kind of together. If that's not the case, maybe we see silver hit 100, gold hit 5,000, like right after each other. Bitcoin versus silver is a very sad chart at the moment. All the way back down. Jesus Christ. All the way back down to January 23. Jeez. That's why. It's actually crazy. It's not the chart I was even trying to pull up. I was trying to pull up gold versus silver, not gold versus Bitcoin. Because unfortunately, gold versus Bitcoin or silver versus Bitcoin versus gold or silver looks bad. Like in total here, this was such a beautiful chart. We even got the bounce here. If you guys remember this one, we even got the bounce here. It just got destroyed. Look at this. This is not even the chart I was looking for. So let's look at gold, silver. Let's see if there's a pair or a resistance, a support or resistance here that might give us a little bit of insight. Not really. Should have put on music earlier. 44. Okay. Okay. You are right around that 618, but man, you're already blasting through. This is like the last, damn, kind of your last stop here at like 50 before you're looking all the way down to 30s, 38. And then 30, you lose 30, and this shit is, this chart's nuked. It's cooked. Huh. What's really weird here is money flow on the quarter is not only trending up, but it's been accelerating. Yet this chart has been moving down. Unusual. It's not like a combo that I see very often. That lower high, bro. Well, not really getting what I was hoping to get here. That's okay. I'm gonna put some alerts. I think this will be valuable in the future. What's up, Tausif Abir? By the way, if you're out there and you have not subscribed and you're in this chat, or you're seeing this in the future, subscribe. Hit the button. Join us. Why? Because I told you so. What's up, Mr. T? Ah, man. PCH. Yeah, I told you I'd look at it. Just in the gold and silver world right now. I'm going to stick with those calls. I think aluminum's still the next one to go to all-time high. It's crunching. It's crunching up there. Looking for about a 30% move to all-time high. Nothing has changed on that front. I'll pull up BCH, but I'm going to go through the alerts. Holding your coins till the utility kicks in. Trinity, here. I feel you, bro. I feel you. Please, utility. Save me, utility. BCH BTC holding support here. This is not a very clean or confidence building bounce. Unfortunately, this is looking like a momentum leg, but it is still trending up off support. Support is holding. That's at least a short term solid signal. Zipping it over to the BT or to the USD pair, and we are still in the same boat. Thesis unchanged. Retested 680. There we go. Retested 680 again. Still looking for 1,000. Still on the 1,000 boat. All that we're looking for here is for your low to hold. You might get another shot. You might get a shot all the way at 500. I think that might be a little too generous. But you might. 500 would still be a higher low. Get a solid risk to reward there. Ooh, that's some weird RSI. That is the most V-shaped RSI I've ever seen on the daily. Not the best signals here. What? Let's refine this. You could get 500. You could also just look at that 200 day. Pick a target, even just back to 678. 3-1. Thesis has not changed, and we can throw away all this analysis. We can like get rid of all the stuff on this chart, and really we can look at this a different way. Simply inverting here. Invert this chart, and the last 3 years just look phenomenal. Well, they look really bearish, but the chart's inverted, so they look phenomenal. Look at this. Constantly pressed back to support. 660 to 680, whatever. Constantly back to support. Each time price has attempted to get away, it has been brought back down. Your highs have come down again. If this was this chart, I'd be incredibly bearish. This would look like shit. It look like it's going to retest its lows. Sometimes analysis can be that easy. That is honestly the most compelling thing for me. Is like, market wants this up. I also would assume there's very few sellers left. Like, who's selling BCH now? I know it's a weird argument. Oh man, guessing in my eye. I know it's a weird argument because like, who's selling any of this stuff, right? But BCH has not been in the public eye since 2018-ish. This has been a long time. Sellers, I'm pretty sure, got out here. They probably got out in 2018. There is limited selling pressure. The selling pressure is likely coming from miners, mostly. I think there is just not a lot of downside. I think there's not a lot of downside selling pressure consistently on this coin right now. Ugh. All right. Losing my voice, but I don't need a voice. We've got a bunch of other charts that gave me alerts here. Litecoin, my baby, looks, I don't like that alert. That's a bad alert. Bitcoin dominance, worth looking at. Who is buying BCH? That's a good question. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's a very strong looking chart, so speculators. Dominance did break its high from December. It has wicked back down below, but I will take that. I'll take that as an upward bias signal. It's annoying that it set my alert off and didn't go anywhere. But as an upward bias signal, 260.6 at least, retest this. A lot of this space, and I want to say like almost all of this space is looking at the same patterns. And what's funny is a lot of them are on different time frames and across different periods of time. Like Bitcoin dominance is August until now, painting that flat top like Bitcoin and Ethereum are, holding the lows, right? Coming back up. But this time frame is totally different than the charts. It's weird. A lot of things are looking similar. XRP gave me an alert. What else gave me an alert? 𝐂𝐴 long. I don't know about that alert, but we'll check it out. That's one. 𝐒𝐡. 𝐒𝐡 looking like it's playing the head and shoulders. Look at that one eventually. 𝐒𝐡, you got a lot of attention over the last few months. Take a seat. Litecoin 71. No, the hell is beat? Something you guys made me look at. Beat. Got an alert for that. We'll do XRP first because you guys always want to look at XRP. Here we go. Not bad. XRP, BTC. Not so bad. Not so bad at all. Double top played out. Here we go. Back to the bottom of the range. Wick off is quad 02. I know that I was talking about quad 02 at some point. That's a nice little candle for the day. That's what you'd like to see. This is what a lot of the bounce since November has lacked for me. Springiness. Any kind of like actual upside pressure. You'll see like the lows hold, but nothing really happens. This is what I like to see this. Tapped, bought up. XRP on the day, recovering all of those losses. Wonder what happened here. That's a good start. Bringing it over to the dollar pair. Damn, yo, 186 right here. On the weekly, looking to hold $2. That's the important level. For sure. That wick, son of a bitch. Look at this. Look at that wick right into that order. Right back, wow, right into profit. Still, unfortunately, in about like the same pattern. Hasn't really mixed up much. I like the reaction though. I like the energy. I like the bounce. Let's see. 5%, 9%. Where would that bring us? $10% doesn't get us too far though. I think RPT. I think XRP BTC is looking to make an upside move. I have lower high vibes here, but we'll find out. I think it's going to, though, over this week or in the short term, continue to float up. Dollar pair as well. This is harder for me, like where to go. I'm not convinced that this is going like that yet. We'll watch. But what? 220? 10% move to the upside, lines up with its BTC pair, lines up with this lower high here, and you can look to make a bunch of different patterns if you make that move. I did not take this long, but we placed this long here on 𝐂𝐴. I don't know who wanted to long 𝐂𝐴, but there you go. At 1 cent, baby. Oh, I love those 1 cent trades. It's is it 4% up from there? 4% up from $1. Oh. I don't get what like the thesis for this would be. I think I was yelling about this in Trump coin when I was looking at it. I was like, I just don't know what the thesis is. Like long term, why do you think this is gonna go up? There is a play. Ooh, we'll have to look at the weekly cloud again on Bitcoin. 200's up there at 2.2. I think there's a play for 𝐂𝐴. I just don't know what the long term would be. Yo, Eternal G, my guy. Sorry we haven't been streaming on Twitch, man. Crypto numbers have been so brutal that we're only streaming here. We got to pull everybody together for now. Good afternoon. How you doing, Ace Arts? Beat is a music crypto. I got Beat pulled up. Look at it next. 589 or God's gay. Well, unfortunately, not 589. Haters can hate. What are they hating on? Deleted. It'll collapse to 0. I don't know if it'll collapse to 0, but yeah, I don't think 0. What's up, Rudy? Elephant in the room. Silver. I mean, it's not even an elephant. It's a fucking bull in a china shop, man. We have been calling for silver to make crazy moves, and silver's been making them. Where did this go? Literally, I was literally 100 by the end of the year. Did not play out, but my God, my Lord, doesn't really seem to matter, right? We had hit 83 by the end of the year. Straight up. 100 to 120 is the first take profit target for me in my analysis. 122 just be so juicy. I wish I had silver. I have a 20x long open on gold, but I don't have any silver. $100. Maybe even more front around 100. Like 99.40, 99.90. 100 is just too juicy, man. If you think of the last all-time high as 50, which it basically was, 100 is a 2x. That is, not only is 100 a psychological level where people are going to sell anyway simply because monkey neuron, right? 3 digits. Whoa. But also, anyone who bought at any time before September of last year when it broke all-time high is now up more than 2x, but they're up at least 2x, even if they bought it at 50 at all-time high. This is the illogical profit-taking target. These fib extensions, the analysis we do when price discovery is happening, like silver, is different from the analysis we do day to day on a chart like that, like Bitcoin right now, that's ranging below its all-time high and above its all-time low. There's no support and there's no resistance. So we have to use other tools. In many ways, I found them to be more, honestly, better indicators than traditional tools. Maybe because there are less rules, or maybe it's because people behave more predictably when a market is in price discovery. I don't remember what's going on with that. They tend to be more predictable. Yeah. Like using our extensions in these numbers is really a game of, okay, silver's at $94.50. It could go to any number. It could go to 96, 97, 90, 105, 107, 211, right? It's taking infinite amount of numbers and just narrowing it down into ones where people are going to logically take profit, even if they're not traders, even if they're not tuned into our channel, getting the alpha, doing, trading and charting, the simple things, because there is simply no other downside pressure once you're in price discovery. The downside pressure only comes from people market selling and people looking to take profits. So we look for where people would do so, and 100 is it. It's perfect. The most recent pullback on silver, our measured move is 100. Our big silver extension from God knows 2008 to 22, our 1618 is at 122. Pretty close to 100. Pretty close. I think our measured move target is right here at 245 for that same extension. I don't know why it's not on the chart. Yep. Right there, 212 to 245. So we never know where these things are going to go. We can't know. But we have a pretty good, I would say, out of all this stuff we do, I don't even know if that's fair because we do a lot of great stuff. These upside targets, the analysis at price discovery and all-time high, I think is some of our best here, most consistent. Maybe that's why the last few years have sucked on this channel, because there has not been a lot of price discovery, and that tends to be where we nail it, right? Monero we've nailed pretty well. We'll look at Monero next. But here's how I would play this. If I was fortunate like you guys to have silver, or to open a position in silver, I would look to take profit at 100 to 122. That could be done in one chunk at 100. It could be done in two chunks, one at 100, one at 122. I would not look to sell all of my position. I would look to, let's say I have 100 silver. Maybe I sell 20 of it at 100 and I sell 20 of it at 122. Now I have 60% of my silver left, even if price moves above 122. If it doesn't, that sucks. It reverses, right? But now I have taken out 40%, of which is almost certainly doubled, if not more. I've taken my principal out. I've removed all my risk. Silver can go down, can go up. Either way, you cannot lose. Let's go in the scenario of silver continues. It goes even higher. If it breaks 122 after any kind of pullback or in one straight move, I would then look to 112 to 212 to 245. You could do the exact same thing. You could look to put 20% at 212, 20% at 245. You could only sell 20% in this range. Either way, doesn't really matter. If you did the same thing again, you'd still have 20% of your silver that you started with, even if it moved higher than 250. So you're not all the way out, but you've de-risked completely at 120. You've now doubled, tripled your principal. Even if silver went to zero, you'd be in profit, and you still have something to hold on to at the high. If silver goes higher than this, like who the hell knows what's going to happen? Things get very crazy. I think it's unlikely, but you would still have some of your position. You wouldn't feel the FOMO if I have to buy back in because I sold it all at 100. You would layer out slowly and smoothly. And you're doing this based on the same, the analysis that we've done over and over and over again for assets at all-time highs here. It has been very successful. Boop, boop, and then something to ride. I wish I had some. Speaking of which, all-time high price exploration. Monero. This has been the best example lately. Actually, it might even be the best example kind of like the entire run, which is very weird. We're the only ones calling for Monero to hit all-time high, period. At one point. Not even that long ago. It did. January 11th broke all-time high, and we used the same analysis that literally we were just talking about on silver for price discovery. We took the fib extensions, we looked to the 1618, and we looked to the 2. We said this can play out in a few different ways. If something's very bullish, it commonly moves to the measured move target, the 2, then pulls back to the 1618. So we were calling for a move to 750 to pull back to 600. If it breaks 750, we're looking at 1,000, we're looking at 1,500, we're looking at higher numbers. But this move, resistance at the measured move target, support at the 1618, and here we are. Here we go. Look at this price action. This is actually silly. It's a perfect example. Price overshot 750. It actually hit 800, which is pretty crazy. In percentage, it's only 7%. Hit 800. So 750 wasn't the exact top. It typically isn't with this kind of analysis, but it did give you an exit and an entry. Traded down to 534 on the wick, quickly recovered. Here we are back at the entry again. If I was in this position, I likely would pull my stop up, and if that got stopped out, I would look to like potentially try to reopen at 517 if something like this plays out. But as is, 745 is the target again. Here we are. What did we get? A 20%. We caught 20% downside move. And if it returns just to 750 and doesn't even break all-time high, that's a 25% move to the upside. Snap, snap. Nothing has changed for me here. I don't think Monero is done. Though likely, guys, it's very reasonable that whenever Monero is done, I won't think it's done because price discovery is a game of chicken. It's hard to get off. Giggity. But I did lock in some profit. I sold some of it live. I sold the top so far. Sick. I sold the top live. I didn't even realize that. Right here. On Wednesday of last week, I'll have to find the clip. I sold some of the Monero that I bought, like I said I would. Maybe, if I'm a madman, maybe I rebuy it. No. That's the whole point. It's the whole thing. Layering out. Not all in, not all out. Taking profits. Doing it smooth, doing it slow. Sick. Monero looks... He looks so good. I wish you would just get up here now. Don't do this. Don't break my heart. But it's the only thing. I don't know what else looks good. Like Dash did look good. I think I might have goofed this up. I bought quite a bit. I opened up quite a position on Dash. It's making me nervous. I don't like this flagging formation. I think that this is likely going to morph into a reversal. I should get out of my position. The one thing this has going for it, not only the privacy narrative, whatever, I think Monero still looks strong, but even on today's sell-off where the whole market kind of dumped down a notch, this didn't move. This held its low. After a lower high, just continued to do what it's doing. It seems to largely be ignoring the rest of the market. If that wasn't true, I would have expected probably a move down here today. 67, retest that previous high. And now that I'm looking at it, I probably should look to get out of my position and then reopen here if I can. Right. Shoot. I don't even want to put alerts because I don't want to be reminded of how down I am if this goes down. Rip. Thoughts on Tau, Vince? What's up with Tau today? A few people have asked about Tau. I think a few people asked about Tau the other day. But Tau is not like a super popular thing. Oof. Boof. Dude, you got wrecked. Sorry, Chris Pax. Just playing, bud. I love Chris Pax. He's a good dude. Sheesh. Sheesh. Nah, it's fine. Hell, December's low. It's still not looking great, man. Doge is as soon as it broke 13 cents down here in early December, its vibe and its energy has waned. Not being doomy about it. There are much worse looking things out there. But when you lost that low, you lost so much progress. My watch asked me how to reflect on how I'm feeling. How should I reflect? How am I feeling? How are we feeling? Log how I'm feeling right now. I'm going to say slightly pleasant. There we go. Slightly pleasant. How does it describe it? It doesn't. Nothing. I've started logging my emotions because that's what my new watch and telephone are telling me to do. And I was like, yeah, why not? I think it's probably a healthy practice. I want to have that data and then look back in like a month or 3 months and be like, I want to like look for patterns. Maybe start charting it. Yeah. Ooh. That's like a beat. I'll pull up Tau. Tear. Hard cap. I don't know. I don't trust any other coins with their caps and bullshit. They're bullshit. Beat got beat. Beat honestly looks wrecked. I said that last time. I said there was a shot in hell to bounce here. No, did not even bounce. This looks a little capitulaty, at least for a short-term price action. 27 cents. I mean, this is a knife. I would not touch this. You got 20 cents as your all-time low. That'd be the next downside target. And then, I don't know, you're just wrecked. Yeah, this move here, this is what I would have expected from Dash if Dash was really going to break down like that in the shorter term. I wouldn't expect it to like absorb that and then break down, I don't know, the next day. That looks like shit, but I would probably say it's closer to a long in the sense of some kind of recovery. Denied. That looks bad. Yeah, good luck with this one. This is, I don't know what this is, but it does not look healthy. Sui, yeah, Sui's one I got an alert for. We'll pull up Sui too. Sui Tui. Chop Sui. You wanted to. Chop Sui. Well, I don't think you trust in my self-righteous suicide. Okay. Rigged. Rigged? I don't own any of this coin. I remember when people were all hyping it up and influencers were making videos about it. They got real quiet. Rejected from 285, held the low so far. I'm not gonna lie, this is not, that doesn't look good. Doesn't look good, but like all the charts we're looking at here, you had a low. You need to hold on to a higher low. If you can reverse here today, like today's low in for Tau and move back to 285, test that again, you can start looking okay. Start looking to fill in some of this. Maybe back up to the high trend. Polygon is cooking up your favorite meal. What are they cooking up? Nothing burgers? Ha ha ha. Here. What's up, Peach? How you doing, brother? Good to see you, my friend. Miss up, Peach. Damn. This market's so cooked. My lord. You gotta hold that low. That's all I have for Tau. You gotta hold like 245. You need a higher low. You gotta retest 285. Then you can get the moves back on the table, and until then, that's actually pretty brutal. Closing a bearish engulf weekly. Look at Suey. Waiting on your DGen 1. What's that? Tau is strong fundamentally. Tell us about it. Tell us about it, Steve-O. I don't know shit about it, bro. You know how I feel about everything. Honestly, it's just an easy, lazy, successful approach to crypto. It's like, I don't believe anything. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. None of it's real. Does that make does it mean I miss out on some opportunities? Probably. But I feel like after enough hindsight, enough time passes, all those opportunities were, they tend to not have been opportunities. They tend to be fleeting moments in time. Okay, let's talk about Sui. Sui broke down from 180. We were looking for a potential little scalp there. That long got regged. That's what stop losses are for. Sui has retested 155. Oops. This is the same support that we've looked along before. I think that same trade is in play. Wicked. Held the low. It's time to 180. You can still get like a 3-to-1. Still a good RR. Yep. Ooh. What? Pi cycle? Why is what? Wait a minute. Is Pi cycle? What? That's weird. Pi cycle. Accidentally on this chart, the Pi cycle indicator. I have no idea why it is, but look at this. Kind of interesting. Pi cycle bottom. Not something that's ever flashed on this chart. Right here. Tuesday. Got sold into. Weird. Solana. Look at Solana. If you would have shorted any shitcoin, you would have done great, honestly. Pretty much. It does feel like, honestly, it feels like it's shorting season, but then I think about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin has not been a super successful short lately. Hasn't been a super successful trade lately. Solana, ooh, fake out here. What's up, Mr. Biggest Nobody? Hey, that's something. There's a lot of nobodies out there. To be the biggest one, it's a big deal. I don't know what to do with marriage. It's just where it is today. You? The tube for you. I'm putting on some tunes here real quick, guys. While we're streaming, make sure you've hit the like button on this stream. It's free, costs you nothing, just one click. Don't be stingy. Helps the stream out in the algorithm, helps new people find our stream. Subscribe, put a message in chat, jump in our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown. Check out the links in the video description below. And let me find some tunes here. Dubstep, drum bass. I bought my Lost Lands tickets. I'm going again. That's why I was wearing the little jers, the dirty jers. Check this out. Got my tickets for September. There we go. I know how to put on shirts. I'm not special. Check this. It's got dinos. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I want like a long, oh well. Let me know if that's too loud. That might be too loud. There we go. What was I doing? Solana. We've got 500 viewers. Let's go. Not bad. I don't know how many likes we have. It's not showing me. Only 145 likes. That's rookie. Okay. Solana. What was I even doing with Solana? I was doing something with it. Test 143. I mean, on a weekly, you're looking at 125 again. Does not look great. Ooh. I still think Solana's going to go to 190. Has like all the way out to July, according to the 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐫𝐭. Draw an expert wolf. Yes, please do. What's up, Eduardo? Happy MLK. Happy MLK, brother. Look at Jasmine. Have I been to the Indy 500? I have not. Green screen. Oh, yeah. You guys might not even be able to see it, right? Because it's green. Oh, yeah. That's lame. You know what? Here you go. I didn't even think of that. Ready? You're gonna see green. Like green camo. Look at all the dinosaurs. I dig it. I dig it. What's up, brand new? How you doing, bro? Litecoin to 99. We need to be saved up and run. Dude, I need to be saved. You guys are telling me I wish I could save you. I wish I could save all of us. I can. Promise you I'll be here. I'll be here. I'll be here, no matter what happens. Litecoin. I saw Benjamin Cohen wrote like Litecoin went to a new all-time low against Bitcoin. Not technically true on Binance. I don't know if that's worth bragging about. But yeah, not looking great there. Weekly. I will call a spade here. This is, do not love that. While you still are above March's low, so technically, no, technically not. Technically you're in a downward trend here on the week. Damn. It's looking so fire right there too. Litecoin, you just keep like getting me all jazzed up and then I don't go anywhere. My outlook for Litecoin over the next year, 2 years, whatever, is unchanged by this move. But if it traded below 62, it might, my thesis might change. I think that this was very strong. I do not like this loss in reversal. We need to see this regained very quickly. Something like that. Damn it, Litecoin. You're killing me. Be like your brother Monero. Little Monero Mang. Son of a bitch. This is what crypto used to look like all the time. This like brings me back to my earliest days of crypto. Having a bunch of moving averages on a chart and then seeing something like this. What I mean by that is in 2017, starting crypto, you commonly would see these giant pumps. And in crypto, this would be like 400% or whatever, be bigger. And then just sideways like this. And what reminds me of it though is the way the moving averages caught up and then they all got intertwined moving sideways after the move continued. That reminds me so much of like my early crypto days. Not lately, but the early crypto days. Further evidence gold's about to make another parabolic move? Probably. Likely. Tether dominance. Lower high, I'll take that. Sold off into the day. This is not what I want to see still though. I think Tether dominance is going to do this. I think it's going to paint this. I don't know how long it'll hold on to this, right? Theoretically, it could go all the way down here. Kind of don't think that's what's going to happen. But lower highs, lower lows, and then a breakout. Wherever this ends up. The longer it can hold on, or the longer it kind of grinds down this path, the lower it reaches, the better. But it looks like that's in its future. Mind you, we were incredibly successful with predictions based on Tether dominance in the bull run in the cycle until right here where it broke. And now my confidence in charting this has gone down a little bit. That is what it looks like. Revive me. Please. Low 100s is still calling. Back to life. Back to life. Actually, I'm vibing. This is a good song. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but Interesting. So it's interesting. Monthly Ichimoku cloud, something I don't look at often. You don't need to look at it often. Really reflects how different this cycle was. Let me tell you why. If you look back at all the previous cycles with Ichimoku cloud on the monthly, what you'll see is basically this flat point that rolls over and goes like vertical. You saw this happen back here. You saw this happen here. Yeah, you saw it happen here. And you can't really see it, but it did happen here as well. When we look at the current cycle, it didn't really work out that way. It didn't play that way. This is more of like a stair stepping. This isn't that cliff wall that we saw previously. It's interesting. I don't really have any other alpha based on that, but it's interesting. Ichimoku cloud on the day is telling us that Bitcoin is about as low as this wants to see for the uptrend to be intact. And I agree. We were on Wednesday even talking about that. A retracement down, I think I said 93.5. Obviously it went a little lower, 92. But that still holds intact. Here's the Kaijun, the longer span right here on today's wick. We can look for this if it can hold. Weakness underneath us at the end of January, it makes me uncomfortable. Makes me very uncomfortable. Right after the FOMC. Eef. Slapping. Yeah, USDT has more competition now. It's true. It's true, but what it even is, it's all the same shit. It's all the same. Well, shouldn't say that because no, some of it is absolutely vapor unbacked. And some of it's not. I pretty much fully trust Tether's funding at this point. What's up, Double? The safest approach, which is some of the shit gets beyond wild. What's the safest approach? What's up, Ed Mast? How are you, man? What about Bitcoin dominance? We did look at it briefly. We did see it break up today, like in this new week. It has already sold back off, but it did break a high. It did make a higher high. I think that is putting more favor to an upside break, which is basically what we've been looking for anyway, but it's just taken forever. That's something that's like really rough about the market right now, is there's a lot of, at least I think I have a lot of pretty confident calls on directions for many charts, but the time frame, how long it's taking, is making it, it's almost like making it feel like they're wrong, or like making me hesitant or second guess it. Like, we've been waiting for this forever, dude, and it just keeps moving sideways. These are weeks. 84 days. It's been almost 150 days since it hit a low. I still think dominance is going to break to the upside. I just am starting to feel like the boy who cried wolf about it, because it just isn't doing anything. It's not going anywhere. Night token. Midnight might be a short right now. Midnight broke support, rallied, extended, and is now at support again as resistance. Might be a short. What's up, Satoshi Nakamoto? Are you a midge bro? Oh, wow, gee. Ooh. I don't. That's not even an English word. Are you an angry, frustrated person, bro? Little bro? Little bro. Little bro. You guys are wild. I get it. People are... I'm always bullish. I get it. The market isn't bullish. People get mad. People are down. I'm down, bro. I'm down more money than I ever thought I'd have. It brings out the worst in people. I get it. I'm the target. Eduardo, New Day Traders. What's up, Crown? What's up, bro? What up? Merlin. Merlin chain. What the hell's that? Tariffs. Yep. Tariffs and essentially like economic warfare against all our allies. Definitely bold move, Cotton, but also a little uncertain. Little uncertainty there. Not really certain how that will play out. Yep, we already know Powell will say that's correct, Dark. And you're correct. We're not getting a cut. We are not going to get a cut in January, but we potentially will get remarks about October's data. We'll get repo, RRP on whatever repo rates. We'll get probably some more forward guidance on quantitative easing. We will get important stuff from it. We just won't get an interest rate cut. Not going to happen. Fed balance sheet. Let's see. Fed said they ended quantitative tightening. Let's see if that's still true. Okay. Well, as soon as December started, we saw their balance sheet grow. So this was quantitative easing, technically. That pulled back. We tightened. It looks like we've eased a little bit. So we really effectively have done nothing since November. This is the tightening as the balance sheet was run off. When we are easing, this is what we do. We move up. So has not really hit markets yet. Let's say that. What's up, M Stone? How you doing, bro? You got scammed out of 90 bucks? How'd you get scammed, brother? I'm sure Stone will be okay, but is it a learning lesson? Can we learn from it? You're all good, Paul. Been live for an hour and a half. Do not expect everybody to follow all of it. Apple pie. I like you. Thank you. I like you too, Nandon. Bro, how come I'm long on Sui? Chart. Certainly no reason outside of just chart. Yeah. Chart. Sold off. Back to resistance. You've seen some kind of bounce there. Or back to support. Seen some kind of bounce there. It's not a generational hold long position. Hold up. Yeah, this isn't like a long to hold to the moon. But I think this play makes sense. Back to 180. It's just like a 40% upside. It's not bad though. I think it could move higher. But that's just not the trade for me right now. 155 to 180. Dude, what's going on? Why does it keep adding and then I hit back and it doesn't remove? Yeah, that's just the chart. Just the no other reason. I don't know anything about Sui. I don't know anything about most of these shitters. This, God, Bitcoin, you've literally done nothing. Sure, pal, fire off the money printers. Well, boys, we don't need interest rates for the money printers. We signed. Remember, we signed the big beautiful bill. We signed the new budget. The budget. The U.S. budget, that is the money printer. The money printer is not Fed goes and prints money like that. In ways, when they purchase assets, when they mess with their balance sheet, yes. But the money printer is Congress, is the government. That's the trillions and trillions. Look at how fast U.S. debt has moved up since then. Of course, debt, it's always been going up. It's not new. This might not be the right thing. Nah, these don't have, there's no new numbers there. US debt. Real time? Chart, maybe. The debt clock, man. Debt clock, I think, is mostly gibberty-gook. Deficit tracker. Good chart of this. But obviously debt has exploded. Government debt, the deficit has exploded since the bill. As it would. I mean, there's no other way around that. Like, there's no way that's not the case. What have we done? I can't find good data right now. The national debt grows by $72,000 a second. Cool. We've added $2 trillion in debt, more than $2 trillion in debt since January last year. That's the printer, boys. That's the printer. Fed doesn't need to do shit. That's the printer. Geez, what's up, Adam? How you doing, bro? When moon now? Moon, oh, it was 2021. Government will be shut down in a few weeks. God, what a huge failure. What a just giant failure we are. Wild. Davos. What's Davos, Eduardo? Yep. Well, Powell will be replaced. Powell will be replaced in May. We have 3 more FOMCs with him. He'll remain on the board. He'll remain on the board. He hasn't said anything otherwise until 2028. So he'll have the same 1 vote that he has now. But he will be replaced in May. He's not going to be reappointed by Trump. Wouldn't that be a crazy? That'd be a crazy outcome if he just reappoints him. But yeah, we very well may be cooked. The dollar may be cooked, and the luxury, the wealth that being the world reserve has allotted us, may go away quickly. We'll see. I don't really see how it would play out otherwise. Like, it's pretty clear that we're going to put a yes man in the head of the Fed. The good news is that's not how the Fed operates. So a yes man doesn't decide policy by himself. He's just one of 13 votes. But could get weird. Could get very weird. Just gotta hope that the Fed can remain independent. John Doe, get an hour of that? What do you get an hour of? Do you think Powell stepped down? So Powell was appointed by Trump, reappointed by Biden. His term ends. So it's like being an elected official, even though you're not an elected official. His term ends in May. So yeah, like, he's not going to step down, but his chairmanship ends in May, and that is when he'll be replaced. Trump's made it pretty clear he's going to replace him, but no, he's not going to step down before then. Why do politicians say we need to get the debt down? Well, they say that because it's a talking point. No matter what side of the aisle that you are on, your party does not have any real plan or drive or desire to drive the debt down. They won't do it. Neither Republicans nor Democrats right now have any interest in it. That is clear. For what?
I get in the car and I play.
How do you make a dent in it? Well, there's been times, Paul. There's been times under presidents that we have had we've paid down debt. That we've back in the 90s, they were talking about having the debt that we're going to pay the debt down to zero by I forget what year. That didn't happen. You can have policies where it's possible, but those involve raising taxes, potentially cutting spending. How can we put it down? We could take from the military budget. We could raise taxes on top 1%. Could raise taxes on, I don't know, anybody making over $1 million liquid a year. Could we pay it all down quickly? No, but what we could do, and we will not, but what we could do is at least stall it. Yeah, it's been done. Subtronics goes so fucking hard. This is Subtronics, isn't it? Itchy Scratchy Dubs. I was watching Lost Lands, Couchlands this weekend. It was awesome. What's up, Embers? How are you?
I like the weird shit. Give me weird music.
What happens if Europe dumps all the US treasuries over Greenland? I mean, probably the same. This bond market will be nuked. Same thing that's going to happen when Powell's out of the Fed. The dollar has a pretty bearish looking year ahead of it. Gold and silver become unobtainium. You know, they didn't appreciate in value. They didn't keep up with inflation for decades. You know, silver was 50 in 2011. It was 50 again last year. You know, like 14 years. Didn't keep up with inflation. They broke, you know, they broke all-time highs. They're largely, they're just like going back to, they're like correcting. They're correcting their price. If you look at it even farther out, you can say 1980, silver was 50. It took 17,000 days, 2,300 weeks at 0% gain. So they're really just going to their correct valuation if you keep them up with everything else. That's a large factor of it. Another factor is the world is really uncertain about what tomorrow is going to bring. Literally over this weekend, it's like maybe we're ditching all of our NATO allies and we're gonna like invade Greenland, right? The world is unsure. Typically, when the world is unsure, it looks for havens, right? Silver, gold, metals. There's a lot of issues with the dollar going forward into this year. The world reserve, where do you think that capital's going? Yeah, like there's a lot of logical, I think, reasoning for metals moves. I don't know. By the end of next year, maybe by the end of Trump's presidency, I don't know if the dollar will be like the accepted world reserve. We are absolutely in a scenario where that's possible. Hey, we can make changes and that not be true for sure. I'm not saying it's like doomed, but. Oh, the World Economic Forum, Davos got you. Debt up and to the right. And debt should be up and to the right. Yeah, debt should, we don't want zero debt. Debt equals growth. But we want good debt. We want debt going to things that create value. And we also want debt to be in ratio to what we produce. That's the problem really with debt. It's not that we have debt. It's not even that debt grows. It's when debt grows and outpaces what we produce and then eclipses our GDP as it becomes more and more factorial, it becomes impossible to escape, like a debt spiral. Debt itself is good. Ripple will be in the Davos meeting. Ripple goes to like all the meetings. The Fed must be independent from the government. It should be. It is for now. Fed's pumping in money. For true. Trump should replace Powell with Brad. With Brad who? Garlinghouse? Why? 𝐂𝐴𝐺 stopped now trading live. Stop it now. What's that? What is that? 𝐂𝐴𝐺. Nothing I have. This might not even be a ticker. We'll see. Of course, it's something with like no data. Of course. There's not a lot we can do with this. Here you go. 101. There you go. There you are. 98 to 101. Churwish. The debt is more money than has ever existed. I think that's probably been true for a very long time. Numbers get bigger. Numbers get bigger. Prime Minister of Japan has officially announced plans to dissolve the House of Representatives on January 23rd. I don't know enough about Japan's government to know if that matters. Cut out fraud. Remember we tried to do that? We tried to cut out fraud? Or Elon Musk tried to do that and conveniently just got rid of every agency that was like investigating any of his companies or trying to hold any of his companies to regulation, and then said they were gonna, there's all these trillions, and then ended up not finding anywhere near trillions. I don't think they found 100 billion. Man, just cutting major important services for people. I'm not saying there's not fraud in the government. Not saying that. But I'm saying the same way we don't plan on addressing the deficit, we don't plan on addressing the fraud. No. Jubilee! Credit Jubilee! What are we listening to? FY? I don't know, a bunch of different stuff. Zed's dead. This is Zed's dead and Grizz. That goes to zero when the system gets deleted. True. We have so much. It's insane though. We have so much at stake. Like the U.S. has lived beyond its means for a long time because of the international use of the dollar and currency. Shorted silver 93 twice and made good money. Get to short 100x? Yeah, I think so. I think you 122. Everyone bearish makes you super sad, Mr. Mayo. Yeah. Yeah. Same, brother. I'm always bullish. It's hard to say these days. I think Bitcoin's going to move up. I've been saying this now for 2 months. I think Bitcoin resolves up. We see a move up here, and then we'll find out what happens next. Stock up on Pew Pew. True. Cryptomon. Pew Pew is like the real investment. Funding Ukraine war is stupid. Yeah, funding war is stupid. War is stupid. We could dissolve Congress of all members who voted to spend into U.S. debt. Well, Tom, that's 100% of them, unfortunately. I mean, I'd love that. Let's get a government jubilee where we let all of them go and make them all be reelected. But we just end up voting the same goddamn people. God, we're stupid. Ready for AI to take over the Fed. I don't know about that. Cool, you like dubstep? Love dubstep. My friend, you saw my Lost Lands jersey. Of course I like dubstep. XRP. We looked at XRP. Bingo. Zag is gold, bro. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. QNT. Announced staking. That sounds bearish, Toby boy, but I will pull it up because somebody asked about it, I think last week, and I never looked at it. I think staking is bearish. I've always been bearish on staking. I will give it to QNT though. This is a pretty cool chart. Staking is typically not good for ecosystems. If QNT makes a move to the upside, 111. Beautiful area for clouds there. Daily has more upside momentum, I'll say, than most charts we've looked at. See that money flow giving way. I like that. Our side kind of in the middle. Weak, giving the exact opposite. Okay. I think you have a short term, there's probably short term upside on this chart. 111 is a great profit taking target if it comes. I wouldn't be surprised if you get like a run into this proof, into the stake kind of thing, but man, staking is not good, man. I love staking. Yeah, like I love having my stuff staked. I love the idea of getting, you know, coins. I've had ADA staked forever, almost like 10 years. I just never, you know, we saw one coin transition from proof of work to proof of stake, and it was bad. It was a bad call for it. I can't get jazzed on it. I think it's fundamentally bad tokenomics to award people supply that they can then sell at no cost basis, and in fact even need to sell due to tax reasons, dividend income, capital gain. I think it creates selling pressure with no investment cost. Keep an eye on Q&T though. Set new alerts. What indicator am I using? Sell already? I use many indicators. If you're talking about this one, this is Market Cipher B. Market Cipher is a premium indicator. It's I have a link to it in the video description. We may end up going back to sterling as the standard over the dollar. Full circle. Then they'll just take our fucking metals. You didn't know this guy was real? You watched a couple of videos you thought was AI? Came to the channel? We don't have any AI anywhere on this channel, all right. None of the videos have any AI in them. Reshort silver. You can try 100, 122. Then 245. Good day, Craig. How you doing? Good to see you, Greg. Still going, Scar? Yeah, I'm wrapping up. We're wrapping up. We're slowly wrapping up. Rank choice third party. I like that, Tom. We should do rank choice. What happens if, to Bitcoin if Michael decided to dump all of it and close his company? I mean, do you need to ask the question? What would happen if someone, if this, you know, hypothetical, had a bunch of Bitcoin and decided to sell it? What do you think? They'd sell, price would go down, right? Who excited to see it Lost Lands? Well, I guess the lineup isn't released. I would love to see Grizz, Subtronics, Excision, Rez, Zingara, Calcium, Company. Who else? Level Up, Space Lasers, just Sullivan. Dude, so many people. So many. Rusco? Oh, hell yeah. Monad. Forgot about Monad. How has it been? Gata? Hell yeah. Clash doing? I have no idea. Ooh, not so great. Not so great. Wait, wasn't the ICO or whatever 2.5 cents from, I think it's something else. This looks pooty. Blink twice if the AI is in the room with you. We've used literally the only AI that's ever touched this channel is like just clipping programs to like clip the streams. We have 0 AI content. None of it. How's Clash doing? I have no idea. Stop looking at it. Ooh, Levity would be amazing. Be amazing at Lost Lands. Hexa. A lot of good names. Clash. Clash has been worse. Clash has done worse. Damn. Interesting. Start of the new year. Wow, I would not have guessed this. Unless I'm looking at the wrong chart. Let's look at the other ones. This looked so bad. Now it's climbed back up. Wow. I mean, bros, let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. This is not going to all-time high. Let's be real. I would be shocked. Shocked. What do I think about the price of Sui? I think Sui is short-term along. Short-term along. There you go. People asking about Sui a lot today. It's like the most requested thing. This is what I'm looking for. Probably not much more. There you go. Got wrecked there. Tiesto, yeah. Tiesto's more housey, more techno-y, but he has a stupid amount. Well, his company has a stupid amount. Strategy does, but Strategy is also like a publicly traded company. It's not like Sailor's wallet, you know. Sailor's the CEO controlling shares. I don't know. It wouldn't, but no, it would not end all Bitcoin. If Sailor sold all of his Bitcoin, I mean, it'd be better if he did it all at once. Market it, sold it. Bitcoin would probably wick down to insanely low numbers and then just bounce and then probably run. Probably run as fuck. That's what I would say. No selling all that Bitcoin, like especially if he did it all at once, would be short-term pain. Wouldn't kill Bitcoin. The worst case would be if he really slowly sold it over time. That'd be the worst case. George rich AF now? Probably. George is already rich, let's be real. You don't know? I don't know. That's okay if you don't know. I do know. Bitcoin has seen crazier shit. It doesn't... Selling Bitcoin doesn't like doesn't hurt Bitcoin. It just hurts speculators. You're fairly sure he would have rugged it by now? Well, I mean, it kind of did rug. I'm not saying he rugged it. I don't know. What did it do? 8 cents to 1 cent. I mean, that's not that bad for crypto, honestly. I'll give that to him. 9 cents to 1 cent, 85%. I mean, that's a pretty big drawdown. My thing is less about the drawdown and more about this is almost certainly going to look for a lower high and then go back down. The odds of any new all-time high ever on this, I think, are lower than winning the lottery. Time frame is this? This is on the day. So I don't know why the canvas is like randomly not showing the time frame and ticker. Hit that like button. Thank you, Greg. Appreciate you, brother. Tiesto's back to trance now. I mean, I like all kinds of EDM. XPL? No, I haven't. I sell your apartment for Bitcoin this bear? No, you need somewhere to live, bro. You can't sell where you live. You shouldn't sell where you live. Shouldn't trade food for it either. George has very low amount. Well, I have no idea. I have not a clue how much he does or doesn't hold. And it is something that's very hard to determine. It's very hard to determine what people own. Because you're going to have a public wallet. But it doesn't mean you don't have private wallets. And maybe you don't, but like, I don't know, maybe people on your team do. You know, they're... Launching coins is honestly, it's shady biz. It's a shady biz in general. XPL hit all-time lows today. Let's see 9.5 cents or 10 cents. Alright, slip short at the bottom. Rip. In a van down by the river, let's do it. Let's act like that chart goes to 80 million without supply control. What are we looking at, Crypto Brothers? What chart? I don't even know. BNB. Oh, it's heavily centralized. It's heavily controlled by Binance. Of course it is. I don't think anyone's ever pretended it. Well, maybe they did at some point, but I don't know why anybody would ever pretend otherwise. 926. I forgot that BNB did some price exploration. Check this out. We were talking about the fibs price exploration targets. Look at that again. Would have given you 1,300. Touched 1,370 within $70. Now it did not bounce like we were hoping. Praying that Monero does. Did not do this. But damn, did it snipe the top again. Oh, Clash. Yeah, I just don't understand what people would see. I was saying that like on the way up, and I still understand really what people would be like expecting in any kind of like time frame. Like, what do you think is going to happen with this, right? What's the long-term case of this going up? Ooh, uranium in price discovery. What's the 7K? That didn't take long. Holy shit. Here we go. 8,007. It's like lower-ish 8,000s. Maybe higher. I don't know. Shit's wild. Here we go, boys. I appreciate everybody tuning in here today with me. Martin Luther King Day. It's a holiday. It's slow. Crypto's been boring. Bitcoin's been boring. We've had some good trades in between, though. I appreciate you showing up, being here. Big props. We're going to keep being here. We're not going anywhere no matter how boring it gets, no matter how few people are watching crypto content. We're still going to be here. What you can do for me is make sure you subscribe to the channel. They're in our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown, that you have signed up using our links. The links in the video description below, especially the exchange links, and any in the Discord. There's more. Help support the channel. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps keep this content alive even during the most boring times, but of course your viewership is always enough. Love you guys. We're going to be live again Wednesday. It's been good. It's been good. We're going to be live again soon. We're going to wrap it up from here. Pray for Bitcoin's bounce. I still think we're going higher.